Okay, in theory we're rolling.
All right. Well, everybody, fighting games are. What's a good word for Exard? Incredible?
Cocaine?
Yeah. Hang on, no, we gotta save the cocaine. You can't spend it this early.
That's
Because
true.
at some point we're going to do Marvel 3, and that's where you bring out the cocaine. Like, Guilty Gear's like, it laid the path for cocaine, you know? It built the glass table that the rail was set on. But it's like, you can tell what's going on most of the time in Guilty Gear, you know?
I don't know, dude. Have you seen have you seen freaking high level play? I couldn't see shit.
That's
Like
true, I haven't
it
seen high level play.
it wasn't as bad as Marvel 3 because there weren't freaking beams everywhere, but I saw a Chip match. Or no, actually it was a Johnny match. I saw a Johnny match um at like last year's Evo or something. It was Johnny versus Biken. And basically what I saw was Johnny more or less teleporting between the two sides of the screen and just hitting Biken with Mistfinders. And the whole screen was Mistfinders. So, yeah.
There is like some hidden tech in every character that's ridiculous in this game.
There is.
I should have watched some pro matches because I actually did watch pro matches of 98 going in, but I forgot to this week. This past week, I've just been like, we're going to do multiple episodes on Exard. That's guaranteed.
Yeah, probably.
Like any of the fighting games that fit into our favorites group, we're going to do multiple episodes of. 98, I can't see it happening unless like we happen to get a 98 Renaissance, but like Exard is. Would you say it's your favorite fighting game of all time, Addy?
It's really like really I have a thing with that because like I really like Exor, but I also really like XX, and it's like I'm not sure which games Johnny I like better. Is the thing. That's why I can't choose, because
they feel very different.
Yeah, because in XX Johnny had like better Mistfinders and like more demon flip shit, stuff like that. He had two different coin tosses, which I really like. But then all in Exert, Johnny can fly.
Oh yeah.
So
like that's.
I mean, technically he can fly in XX as well, but I really like how you have the midair Mistfinder.
Oh, did he not have the midair Mistfinder next
No.
to? Oh, I forgot about that. Huh. Like Exert definitely feels a lot like lighter. X2 felt weightier, you know?
Yeah.
Not only did characters have less air moves, but it just felt like it was more kind of. The jumps felt heavier, you know?
Yeah.
And it felt like the air dashes didn't have quite the momentum that they do in Exard.
I'm not quite sure about the less air moves because, well, for one, Bridget exists. And also, one of Johnny's supers in that game was on air only. So.
Huh.
It's also one of his best supers.
X2's also got a very big roster difference.
Yeah.
Because fucking Zappa is there.
Yeah, Zappa is there. I mean, in Exert we do have Raven, who is like Zappa light, sort of, not really. Character-wise, gameplay-wise, definitely not, but character-wise, maybe.
Character-wise, maybe, sure, but I'm definitely talking about gameplay here, because Zappa fucking. Whoo! Welcome to RNGesus, everyone. Have you ever seen what happens with like crazy Zappa players? Because I'm pretty sure Zappa was like the top tier, god tier in every Guilty Gear game he was in. Like unfucking stoppable. And that's probably why he's not back for Exard.
I mean, I can just imagine from the limited amount that I spent with him in XX.
Oh yeah. Like, I forget what was the chances of him getting like the really good ghost.
I don't know, but I can just imagine him doing Arakuna combos, and it's in his character.
Yeah, pretty much. And there are some characters from X2 that I really missed going into Ixard. But Ixard's roster is fantastic in its own way because it introduces a lot of new characters that are really cool.
Yeah.
And also Bedman.
Yeah.
I like Bedman, but he's just not my character to play.
Batman is the freaking like Batman is probably the weirdest set play character that I have ever played. Genuinely. Because instead of being like Venom, where it's like, okay, I'm gonna spawn balls here and then hit them. Instead of that, you do a special. And then you do the reverse input of the special, and then your ghost does the special.
It's like Chizuru if Chizuru's clones were not just fireballs. To compare to last week's game.
Yeah.
The one from 2 weeks ago, actually. By the way, expect us to talk a lot more about the actual game this week. But like, yeah, there are a lot of characters who I love that they are there, especially in Guilty Gear, but I will never play them. Would you say that's a statement you would agree with?
I don't know, because, well, to an extent, yes, but there's also a lot of characters that I do flip-flop between, so I kind of play them, but I kind of don't really. Like, I'll always play Johnny and Chip and Biken, but I've recently picked up Soul, because why not? I have picked up Answer, because why not? Everybody hates Answer. But yeah.
Because he is not high tier at all.
I mean, he might not be high tier overall. I had a lot of fun playing him. I had the freaking funniest match against the AI Potemkin on hard, where he couldn't do pop busters on me, but I did do Izuna drops. I don't know how that happened, but it happened. The freaking weirdest thing that I have seen in Guilty Gear is Roman canceling on Izuna drop. Right away.
Oh, you can do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like I definitely remember at some point there were also Roman canceled pop buster combos. So that's something that never popped into my mind, but I guess it's there.
Yeah, from what I remember, the Roman cancel pop buster combo is something like doing hammerfall for movement, and then canceling that into a pop buster that then gets cancelled into like an either a missile if you're in range for that, or like some air moves that I don't remember.
Yeah. That's a thing about Ixard as well as X2 is just the absurd freedom that is afforded to you of just like, wait, what can I do with this? You know?
Yeah.
Which is like the complete opposite of, say, Mortal Kombat 11.
Yeah, which is why I prefer these sorts of games, because like
it's easy for me to dunk on Mortal Kombat 11 there, but I mean there are a lot of fighting games that have better reputations that are also pretty rigid, like
Street Fighter 5. Tekken's pretty rigid, yeah.
Tekken is pretty rigid. Like you just gotta figure out juggles, but other than that, there isn't any crazy shit like that. No Roman cancels or weird setups.
Yeah, I mean there are, but it's locked to the people who came from games that those exist in. So
yeah,
and Boob Lady, Boob Vampire Lady, her too.
Right? Does she? Well, she doesn't have anything aside from a fireball and a Shoryu, right?
I think she has FADCs, but I don't remember.
That Harada was just out of his fucking mind when he made her, wasn't he?
I don't know.
I say as if Harada was the only one who makes characters.
Yeah, the only thing I really know about the whole Tekken 7 thing with Harada is that, remember how he said that that legacy characters would be free?
And then everybody bitched when it turned out that was not a possibility.
Yeah, that I was going to say. Like he actually did want them to be free, and then the freaking higher ups turned him down. So that's how we got paid the legacy characters. Because at least
He
they're
shouldn't have.
there.
He shouldn't have said it in the first place, honestly.
Well, not with
Because
not with that not with that concrete confirmation. No.
no, he was making that statement because Tag 2, all the legacy characters were free. So I guess he just assumed,
Maybe.
which was stupid because they knew Tekken 7 was going to keep going for a while. They're going to expect people to pay for stuff like Armor King eventually. Yeah, it's just how it is, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, that or we could get just a bunch of new characters, which people would hate. Because every new DLC character would be like, hey, it's Fakumram. And people would be like, where's Armor King? Okay, this is one of those things where I realize now that it's come out of my mouth, this might be a Mortal Kombat fan base exclusive thing.
Yeah.
Because the Mortal Kombat fan base is the one that shits the bed every time a DLC character comes out that's not Rain or Melina.
Yeah. Most complaints that I heard about Fakumram weren't that he's new, but that he looks like shit. Which yeah, he does.
He kind of does.
He looks like he looks like freaking rip-off Sagat, really.
Yeah.
And
Sagat covered in Randy Orton tattoos.
yeah. And so it's like people didn't complain about Fakumram because he's new. People complained because he looks like garbage. People complained about Leroy after he got released, but that's because he was broken. So
Yeah.
like those are different. Yeah.
When Leroy was first showing off, though, his design was so good that everybody was like, fuck yeah, Leroy, let's get him in there. And then he got in there, and they're like, no, get him out!
Yeah.
Eject! Oh, man, wasn't the Final Four at EVO? Leroy, and then, like, I don't know, fucking Kazuya?
Something like that.
Oh, man.
It was Leroy, and Shayu.
Characters who pretty much have the same fighting style anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
But yeah, anyway, Guilty Gear Xrd.
So
yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna bring up a question I intend to bring up for every fighting game. And this one I already know what your answer is, but I'm asking it anyways.
Same.
Yeah. What character, if any, would you remove from the game?
Definitely Sin.
Uh-huh. And I'm going to ask you that question until we hit a game where you wouldn't say that, but would you say that there isn't a fighting game in existence that you would not want a character removed from? There is no fighting game where you are genuinely okay with every character on the roster.
I mean, there's a difference for me between being okay with the roster and still going, well, this character could be removed and it would probably improve or maybe improve the game overall for me. Like Sin, I don't have an issue with Sin being in as it is. Like I don't actively freaking write death threats to Sin players and shit like that. But if Sin wasn't in the game, I wouldn't complain.
So your issue with Sin, to elaborate, is that he is easy button, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm going to assume that it's largely based off him using that hunger meter to extend that fucking spear lunge.
Yes. I feel, yeah. Go ahead.
You want to elaborate further?
Not really. I just feel like the hunger meter isn't punishing enough when he messes up.
All right.
Because like if it was a thing where you can do like 50% or 75% damage with a one combo, but if you do the combo, then you're open for like, I don't know. I can't actually give a specific time amount because I don't bloody know what would be balanced, but like, you know, make it so Sin doesn't recover in all cases before the enemy, because he did just do 75% in theory, so.
And this is one of those things where I feel like, again, like we're not pro Guilty Gear players. Sin's probably a lot more balanced at the pro level.
Yeah. But I mean, the pros aren't the only people who make up the freaking game.
That is
We
true.
need the casuals, and the casuals will look at Sin, will get beaten by Sin, and then quit the game.
That or they'll just play Sin.
Yeah.
Which I believe was actually the intention. Because Sin is blatantly a, hey, beginners, play this guy. And I feel I should go ahead and mention right now, I do not agree with Addy here. I like Sin a lot. I get that he is the noob guide character, and I really dig him. With that said, like Addy, you believe that characters should have at least a little bit of difficulty of input, right?
Maybe.
Because I think that's the common problem I think that you encounter with both Sin as well as Catalina in Tekken 7.
Yeah.
Is that both of them have very, very strong combos that only need them to press one button.
Yeah. Because like on the other hand, there's noob helping characters like Claudio Serafino in Tekken 7. I have no issues with that guy. And he's not much harder than Sin or Catalina. He requires 2 buttons instead of 1. Yeah.
Other than Sin, who do you think is probably the most noob-friendly character in Exard? Key?
Leo or one of the Shotos.
I don't know. I feel like charge characters are immediately out as noob help characters.
Leo is the mesh character, dude, in the game.
I know he's a mash character, but that's like Eddie isn't supposed to be the noob help character in Tekken, but he is anyway. Eddie Gordo, I mean.
A character doesn't need to be a noob help character to actually focus. Why do I want to say focus? Function as one. Like they don't have to design them around being noob friendly for them to be noob friendly.
That is true. That is true. At the same time, though, I would think that I would think that someone who's more capable than I am, at least, would be easily able to keep Leo out, whereas a character like Key would have more diversity for beginners. And at the same time, his tools aren't too complex to use.
I don't know, because someone who knows enough about the game could keep Leo out, but that's true for everyone. Like, especially with how the online is right now, with how it's that at lower levels, it's like, yeah, if the enemy has enough knowledge to counter your character, then your character will get countered. Everybody has that knowledge aside from you. So it's like, yeah, you're right, but when we put it in practice, it doesn't make a freaking difference because you will die anyway. And if you're playing locally, like I did recently, Leo is much easier to understand than Key, just because you can do this thing that my mother calls the octopus clawing the character, which is just holding one half of the controller and just mashing the ever loving shit out of all of the face buttons that are like assigned to hitting. And Leo can work that way. He can't, and that's the difference to me. Is like you don't need motions to play Leo. You need motions to play Key. And noobs, like, and by noobs I mean people who don't freaking play fighting games at all, they won't be that open to motions.
My contention simply is like motions. I think the Hadoken motion is the first one everyone learns, right? And that's pretty much all Key's got.
Not really.
And I think people. Really? You learned another motion first?
No, I meant that's not all Key has, but yeah.
Well, he does have a Shoryu, that's true. But people can open up that menu and immediately get it, whereas charge mechanics are really fucking weird to figure out for people at first. It's not
but
very
you don't
intuitive.
have to use Leo's charge moves to win. Yeah.
unless the opponent keeps you out. Then Leo has to mix it up a bit.
I think we're moving in circles. Because you're trying to put a noob against a player who actually knows what they're doing, while I'm just talking about low levels.
A noob versus a noob, yeah. I mean, if we want to talk about online, then that's an entirely different problem that Ixard has. Like, obviously, the netcode is like, well, it's delay based. So if you have a good connection with someone, it's going to work fine. If you don't have a good connection, well, welcome to the toilet.
Or at least it's not Tekken.
But that's true. Yeah, Tekken, you've got a good connection. Delay-based netcode kicks in hard anyways. Why, God, why?
Because, like, Exert I can play fine. Like, that's the thing. You listen to other people's opinions on this. I personally haven't been able to find, like, people proving, that everybody has the issue with Exert netcode specifically. Delay-based is probably worse. I'm not doubting that. But it's like, I'll listen to my anecdotal evidence as opposed to someone else's anecdotal evidence that just more people picked up on. For now.
Yeah, that's another big difference between us. But another thing that I think is actually really key here is that Street Fighter V, despite fucking up a ton, has still been able to keep a decent online player base.
Despite the shittiest implementation of rollback netcode.
Yeah, a terrible implementation of rollback. It fixed at least a little bit, but still not great.
That's why I think the best way to go is the schoolgirls way of implementing both and just having them balance each other out. Because if you have the freaking like if you can have next to no delay with delay based, but then if it shits the bed it goes into rollback, and the rollback is not shit, then maybe it'll work out fine.
Not to prove your point about I always listen to experts rather than golf my own opinion here, but I was just watching a Sajam video the other day, and he said the biggest thing that hurts rollback netcode's reputation is the fact that the first Capcom fighter to use it was Street Fighter V.
Yeah, he's not wrong. That time all the Dick Riders, I think.
But here's the key thing. One of the key things I thought is really important to Street Fighter V maintaining some degree of online success is crossplay.
Yeah, crossplay is important
because it means that the player bases for either platform are effectively inflated, and you get to play against way more people than you ordinarily would. So the pool for noobs is a lot bigger, and the pool for pros is a lot bigger.
Yeah.
Like, if they have crossplay with Strive, which they won't, right? Have they said on that?
They haven't said anything, but people are now pushing for it because moving goalposts and all that. I mean, like, I talk shit about them. I'm happy that it has rollback netcode, but like, I have more important things about Strive that I want before netcode stuff. Like Johnny.
Well, if we want to talk about Strive's roster, I think it's a guarantee that we're going to see. First things first with Guilty Gear. Guilty Gear is a Japanese fighting game franchise, so you should always have a main that's from the very first game. Someone from the launch roster, boom, you're safe.
Dude, look at all of the characters that I main. The characters that I truly main are never from the first game; they're from the second. Akuma, Johnny, freaking what else? Ermac, Moria from Last Blade. He came in at the second game, I think. So yeah.
Rugal's from the first KOF, but he was a boss character, and it's different from boss characters.
There was someone else that I'm forgetting. Alright, Kazuki and Samsho, but he came in for the fourth game or something.
Yeah. I mean, you do have a couple launch roster characters, though. You've got Kim for KOF, you've got Chip for Guilty Gear. It's just the safest way to do things. Though I
I
should.
technically even have two mains from the first game of Guilty Gear because Baiken was also in the first Guilty Gear as a secret character.
She was a boss character, though. It's different for
That
boss
is true,
characters. Cliff, Testament, and Judgment probably aren't coming back for this one, which is key because they are all boss characters. Like, really, we're lucky Baiken came back for Exard. I don't know. Testament could come back. I could see Testament coming back. Did I call Justice Judgment?
Yeah,
I think
I think
did.
you did.
I meant to call her Justice. Whoops. Whoopsie doodles. Like, I'm good on that part because I have Pot and Faust, both of whom are launch roster characters, so they're guaranteed to come back. Like, Johnny and Baiken are definitely coming back at some point. You know,
yeah,
TM.
Strive Revelator 2.
Yeah. But it's anyone's guess what parts they'll come back for. I think Baiken's in a good place because her design in Exard earned her a lot more, let's say fans. Yeah. Baiken's
tits got a lot of horny people.
Yes, I hate people. Though that didn't work for Melina, though, so apparently it's not foolproof.
But you see, the thing is, Baiken is tits, but she's also a badass character, so...
She is a woman whose personality is not just nervous ooh-woo. And that's her problem.
Baiken has a personality that is not nervous ooh-woo or seductress. So...
Yep. Well, even the seductress Japan seems kind of antsy about.
Yeah. I don't know, because KOF is KOF has weird freaking characters, because like the new character Luong, she dresses like she would be a seductress character, but I don't think she is. Well, she is, but she isn't, but she is.
I think with her they play up the sex appeal just for the humor of the fact that her husband's half her height.
Well, maybe.
Well, also, Cougar is a classic joke that people just love to play up, so... What was I going to say? I mean, like, KOF's a little bit different from other Japanese fighting game franchises, though. In that KOF, they very clearly design not just for Japan. Like, there's very clearly a lot of appeal to Korea and South America in those games.
Yeah, that is true.
Isn't there an entire South America team now in the 14? Is. And that's definitely something to keep in mind, because, like, Street Fighter tries to appeal to America every now and then, but otherwise, most of the Japanese fighting game franchises are designed for Japan and Japanese appeal.
Guilty Gear now, because Daisuke said that they're remaking all of the models just so they can make more Western-styled designs for the characters.
Oh, that's strange.
Well,
not a huge surprise.
Well, not specifically Western styled, but just like, you know, more world appeal. He said it in regards to May. So I don't know if it's true for everyone or just her, but
it could have just been May, honestly, because May is very clearly a Japanese design. And she has always been the part of Guilty Gear that when it gets brought to other countries, we're kind of like, what?
They should have kept the same clothing, but made her like 50.
Yeah. No, make her muscular.
No, they already did that with Grand Blue.
Yeah. They gave her facial hair, though, which was a thing that, again, the West is like, okay. You know, it would actually really make sense if they made May really muscular, considering she's hefting an anchor everywhere she goes.
It would make sense for her. You know what? Give her freaking Popeye arms.
Yeah. No, make that her new super. She does the Popeye thing and everything. She downs a can of spinach, and then she does Slayer's instant kill, where she uppercuts you into space.
And then she smokes a
pipe. Yeah. Is it not weird to think about that she's probably physically the second strongest character on the roster after Pot?
I don't know, because we do have Slayer, and we've never actually seen how strong Slayer is.
I feel like Slayer is just holding back enough, you know? If because like any art talk about like, oh, how strong this character is, any death battle talks involving Slayer, you have to be like, oh, is it Slayer holding back or Slayer not holding
Yeah,
back? Because we've never seen Slayer not hold back.
yeah. But
And supposedly his wife's even stronger, isn't
yeah,
she?
because she does beat him up. So
I thought she like at one point it turned out she could kill Eddie's equivalents just by touching them.
oh
Yeah, Guilty Gear loves characters that like the random character that's way stronger than they look.
yeah.
I
And
still have,
then we have yeah.
I just want to say I still have a strong feeling that Colonel Zapp is going to be a new character in Strive.
I mean, I wouldn't mind it. But yeah, then we have the like weird shows of strength that they do with some characters, like in the story mode for Xrd. Johnny, Johnny, Chip, and Soul are working together to save the world from justice again. And Johnny's like, I've got this. He picks out his sword, and just the whole field is sword. Like he's technically doing Mistfinders all over the freaking field.
That's a Virgil super.
It is. He's doing a Virgil super. That's and I don't know if that's supposed to be like his big reveal of strength, or if that's just a thing that he does. That's the best part. He that can be the extent of his power, or he can be stronger. We don't know. He might just be a sword.
It's that weird. Guilty Gear is anime as fuck. It does things differently though from other anime. Something like Dragon Ball. Like Dragon Ball, anybody who isn't Goku shouldn't have showed up, right?
Yeah.
Guilty Gear, everybody's as strong or stronger than Soul. It's just that they can't be bothered. Or they're just on the sidelines cheering Soul anyways. Like Slayer and Johnny could have fucking dealt with justice immediately, but no, they're gonna cheer Soul to go do it instead.
Yeah,
technically Soul did cause the problem, so I guess I can see why, but you know.
From what I remember, the reason Johnny is there is because I think they stole his ship and he's there to get it back or something like that. I don't remember why the hell Chip is there. Probably freaking public relations for his country.
Well, what a strange arrangement of characters. It's one thing I should note is that Addy has way more investment into the story of Guilty Gear than I do.
Way more investment, probably not as much understanding. Because bloody hell, is it confusing? Just overall, really confusing.
There's also the big difference of I've read up on the lore, everything up to X2 before, whereas Ixard is very much where my knowledge drops off. Whereas for you, it's the complete opposite, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, because I said two whole movies that is the Side and Revelator story modes.
Right. I think the only scenes I've actually seen from either of the story modes is the one where Key, Dizzy, Sin, and Soul are like in the cockpit of a ship.
Yeah.
And Sin and Dizzy are sitting there talking, and I think Johnny's there as well. They're like, and they finally connect the dots that Soul is Dizzy's dad and Sin's grandpa. And they just look at Soul and they're like, "Hey, doesn't that make Key your son-in-law?" And Soul's just like, "Shut up, shut up, shut up. Everybody shut the fuck up."
Yeah. There are a couple of prologue like episodes after that are still, I think, well, some of them are canon. Anyway, that's 5
the
of
anime
them.
Problem.
Well, the thing is, one of them I think is canon, and then the other one that I remember vividly, I don't think is canon because the things that happen are so like they're slapstick, and I'll get into that.
It depends on who it happens to.
So there's a like prologue story or whatever, like an episode thing, where Soul and Key go and like Soul goes to Key's house because they've like Dizzy and Soul agreed to have tea or something, and Key is having a nervous breakdown because of the revelation that Soul is
father-in-law.
And so he just like grabs Soul by the neck, drags him out onto a field. And he's like, "All right, we fight." And I think he even beats Soul because he lets out his gear powers or whatever the hell.
Oh yeah, Key's really strong. Soul's really strong and weaker than most characters because Guilty Gear's power levels are crazy.
Yeah, but you also have to remember that Soul made like all of the big weapons that can kill the universe. So
true. After a fashion, Soul kind of made Key in that way.
Yeah. And then the other like episode thing that I remember that they had was this murder mystery episode, where it was the third king of Illyria and a couple of other playable characters, as well as I think Zappa. Or it was the third king of Illyria, Zappa, and like two other guys that helped that were like side characters, something like that. And it's a thing of who ate the cake that they were supposed to eat together. And it turns out that everybody basically ate from the cake, and how it turns out that everybody ate from the cake, and that's why there's no cake, is because the person who cooked it put a curse on it, so that anybody who eats from it before it's served officially, has like a rocket burst out of their ass and they just go into space.
All right then.
Yeah.
Why are we talking?
So I don't think that's canon.
Okay.
I don't.
Honestly, Chip shouldn't have left his. Not Chip. Zappa shouldn't have left his peaceful home with RoboKey.
RoboKey is too busy being in France and baking baguettes with Venom.
Oh right, it was Venom. It was Venom that retired with RoboKey. Okay, I thought it was Zappa for some reason. No, what happened to Zappa in the story was that his ghost transferred to Faust, wasn't it?
Something like that, yeah.
Wait, how's that going to work? Because the ghost that was possessing Zappa possessed Zappa because she had a crush on him.
I don't think the whole ghost got transferred. I think, from what I read, Faust just like implanted a piece of Zappa's body into himself.
Oh, okay. So it's like some deal where like Zappa's like, "Please get this creepy stalker ghost out of me," and Faust's like, "I got it," and then he just transfers the ghost because Faust is a dumbass.
Yeah, proceeds to so freaking infect that flesh onto his own chest. Because why not?
Yeah.
And according to people, that's probably why Faust is the way he is in Strive.
He'll still probably just be Faust, honestly. Is he gonna be in the cock and ball torture?
Yes, he's gonna be in the cock and ball torture.
Oh, okay. I'm excited to see what they do with him. Because, like, Potemkin, I don't know. Like, I love the ICPM.
Yeah, I love ICP as well.
Oh no.
I had to go for it.
Well, let's stick to calling it the Intercontinental Potemkin Missile then. But what was I going to say? Actually,
You said that you love the ICPM.
Yeah, that's true. I actually want to go back to the Venom note though and say, like, do you think there's a decent potential they're trying to wrap some of the storylines in Guilty Gear?
I think so, because Daisuke did say that he is planning on finishing Guilty Gear as a story, and then he will go on to make Dream Match games.
That I like that. Actually.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Like, even if that means that some of my characters won't be included, and as pissed as I will be at the time because of that, like, I appreciate the sentiment that I'm trying to tell a story. The story has an end.
I mean, if May is there, then Johnny's probably going to be there. You don't like May, but her presence kind of necessitates Johnny's.
Yeah. I mean, not really, because Johnny wasn't in the first game.
That's true, but like ever since Johnny was introduced, May's character has centered around him.
Yeah, and vice versa, more or less.
Yeah.
For a time, Johnny's character was trying to keep Dizzy safe, but yeah.
I mean, for a time, everyone's character was focused on Dizzy on some way. They either wanted to kill her or save her.
Yeah.
And then Key got there first, actually, and he was like, you know what? I'll fuck her. Key, no.
Key, no, you're only 3.
Yeah. Oh, right, they're both only 3. Now it's extra messed up. Oh, what a weird series.
Yeah.
I kind of appreciate that about some of the older games, the older fighting games, how they would have just one big plot element. Whereas Ixard, Ixard, everybody's got their own fucking storylines rolling. It's a little hard to keep track of.
I mean, a lot of them do, but some of them actually do tie together, because Chips and freaking Keys are tied together, and so is Potemkin's actually. They are all tied together somewhat, and all leading to the actual story mode. Johnny's episode mode ties into the actual story mode with how he's implemented in there, from what I remember. Faust is also tied to Johnny, and Com.
Ah, okay.
And so it's like a lot of characters have their own stuff, but if you play through with all of the roster, then you can see how a lot of characters tied together.
Do you think Kumayun's gonna come back for the next one?
I hope, but I don't know. I liked Com.
I think she was definitely one of the more unique character designs coming out of Ixard, so I think she's got a decent shot.
Yeah.
They could definitely do something to make the actual Kum suit look better, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas right now, it's just kind of Goken.
It is just kind of Goken. I'm hoping that if they do bring back Com, then they'll just actually just make it be a Street Fighter show, though.
I mean, it's already pretty close. It just does the Tatsu on the ground instead of the air.
I don't know why I said it. I guess I'm just referring to the mech suit.
I mean, they could definitely add an extra move to show off the pilot inside the suit. Is the pilot Kum or is the suit Kum? I mean, the name Kum.
Yeah, the pilot, her name is Kum Hayan.
Okay. I feel like they could do a move or two extra that shows off Kum Hayun actually doing stuff herself rather than just piloting the mech.
I don't know, because I do like how I like how it ties into the lore, because the reason Kum built the mech was because she's the big name tuner, and she didn't feel she felt like the Japanese would reject her because she's a girl, so she built a big man robot.
Ah, okay.
And so
that makes sense.
So I like how it's commenting on stuff, but it isn't too overt, and also it just looks cool.
Well, I mean, doesn't she have crazy tuner powers, though?
She does.
I feel like they could do something with that, you know?
It's really, I'm not sure, because they could, but then again, tuner powers are just bending the universe, so I'm not quite sure how far they can go with that.
You just give her some of Faust's moves.
Yeah.
Like, for some reason, now Kum can just belch up items. I imagine Kum belching up the jump pad. That'd be great.
Kum now just uses all of the removed moves from the characters. She has Chip's teleport. She has both Chip and freaking Faust's teleports.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's probably actually really good they got rid of Faust's teleport. It was kind of a brutal mix-up sometimes.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that idea you just described, a character formed out of cannibalized, missing moves from other characters. And not only is it Seth, Seth takes moves that people still use. There's a character in Skullgirls, 11, I think her name is 11, her entire moveset is formed out of unused prototype moves from other characters.
And then there's also the the referee, I guess, from Sam Show that you can play in 6, who is actually just like a mix of SNK bosses. Dude legit has a freaking genocide cutter, a Kaiser wave, and gigantic pressure from what I remember. So
does he have Gonnett's tornadoes?
He might. I don't remember. he might have fan tornadoes. Yes.
Oh, fantastic. I mean, it makes sense. He just signals it with the flag.
So, yeah.
To get back to Exard. So, the clear winners out of the roster for you are Johnny, Biken, and Chip, yeah?
Yeah.
Would you, be able to provide a very solid reason for each of those 3 characters, why you love them?
Chip, I like basically solely on story reasons, and I like how he actually changed during the years, because when Guilty Gear started, he was just like some random street punk who was like who learned how to do ninjutsu and was like, ninjas, sushi. And now he's at a point where he's leading a freaking country, and he's like, ninjas, sushi.
America.
Yeah, America. But yeah, I just found his design and playstyle cool when I couldn't actually play any other characters, and he's like, as much as Ki and Soul are basic Shodos, I feel like Chip is the most basic Shodo that the game has, at least to me.
Chip is definitely one of the characters who's not got like as much weird stuff. It's all very blatantly in your face.
Yeah. That's what I just like being really fast. So
yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Is Chip the fastest character in the game?
Yes.
I'm struggling to think of like who would even be in competition. Ino's pretty fast. But other than that, yeah.
Ino's pretty fast, but Chip is, I think, faster. Like I think they genuinely make Chip the fastest character in the game, in every game, because ninja.
Yeah. He definitely has the fastest run.
Yeah. So that Johnny reignited a thing that I had in KOF with Yamazaki, which is why I picked him up in whichever version of X that I started with. It was like, I think I definitely was with Chip going up against him, and 1 second.
Johnny's got like the same thing Yamazaki does from KOF. I should know. Like, what you're talking about here is that they have a stance they can enter from which they can do a long range strike that hits low, high, or anti-air. And Johnny can do more from that stance, right? Because Yamazaki can only do that and then maybe cancel it, whereas Johnny can dash, can walk. Can Johnny jump from that stance?
Johnny can't walk in Mistfinder, he can only dash.
Oh! I feel like he could walk in X2, couldn't he?
Maybe, I don't remember. But yeah, so going back to my story, I was with Chip, and the AI with Johnny just freaking wiped the floor with me. I couldn't move closer because Mistfinder. I couldn't jump because Mistfinder. I couldn't let him get close and then counter him because coin. So after that I was like, you know what? Alright, I'm playing this character. And then I actually tried him out and I liked him. So that's I really liked his design as well. And so that's how I kind of stuck with him. Now, after that, I basically immediately did quit Guilty Gear for the better part of like 15 years because I was like, well, obviously the game is too hard for me, so I should probably learn how to actually play video games and then come back to this.
So your introduction to Guilty Gear was actually playing a Guilty Gear game?
Yes.
My introduction to Guilty Gear was like my introduction to most 2D fighting games. Mugen. The Mugen X2 characters are actually very high quality, which is weird because Mugen, I remember Mugen at that time not doing very well with a lot of like the later, more advanced 2D fighters, you know?
Yeah. And so, when I picked up Xrd, when I picked up Sign, actually, I played as Chip, but I was like, well, you know, I like how this game is, but I bought Sign for $10. So I'm like, I like it. I like this game, but you know, I'm kind of missing that freaking guy with the sunglasses and the I know. What was his name? Johnny. So then I looked it up. He was in Revelator, and then I bought Revelator for full price. So that's how much I like Johnny. And as for Biken, Biken I actually
Revelator's
never.
a good package.
Yeah,
There's more than just Johnny. There's lots of really good characters introduced in Revelator and Rev 2.
yeah. I meant Rev 2 because there is a difference there to be made.
Oh, Johnny wasn't introduced until Rev 2, right? Rev 1 was like Leo and who else?
Leo and Dizzy.
Dizzy was Rev 2 as well.
Oh,
Dizzy was the first character announced for Rev 2.
Then I don't remember.
Oh, there was Leo. There was definitely
Not Raven because he would have been he was in the base game. Yeah.
No, Raven was Rev 2 as well.
Raven was left 2 as well. Bloody hell! I don't remember the side roster apparently.
Yeah, Sign was mostly like the classics, the original 8 or whatever, the original 10. Eno,
Batman.
Slayer, Elfelt was DLC, I think.
Yeah,
Sin,
Elfelt was DLC. Batman. I remember. Yeah, Ram was in.
I think the only new characters at launch were Ramlethal and Bedman. And then Rev 1 was Leo, as well as Venom was Rev 1, I think. And fuck. I don't know when they added Coom. I think Coom was Rev 2 as well.
Yeah, I think so, because they share, like, symmetrically speaking, they share a space with Raven, so...
Yeah. Shit, I forgot how much Rev 2 added to the game.
Yeah. So that. And then Biken, I never actually got to play Biken. Well, I did get to play Biken before I played Revelator 2, but that was in Mugen. And I played her because she looked like Rurouni Kenshin. And I didn't actually, never actually did figure out how to play her. Then I saw Biken in Rev 2 and I was like, you know, Samurai, I'll give her a chance.
Okay, hang on. So, Rev 1. Okay, Rev 1 was Johnny, Jacko, Jam. And then Rev 2 was Biken, Answer, Dizzy, and Coom, I think. It looks like, yeah. And Raven. But, anyways, yes, Johnny's definitely got that. Johnny's a cowboy samurai.
Yeah, Johnny's a cowboy samurai.
Which is a very good trope that is not used as much as you would expect.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I'm always a sucker for crossing over, like knights and samurai and cowboy and all that. Like, actually having them interact.
Sometimes I like it, but usually I don't like how it's done. Like, I didn't mind it in For Honor, because I thought that they did it alright for the most part. But
what would you say is an example of them not doing it right?
I don't freaking know, dude. I usually don't pay attention to those things. Like, that's the thing. I don't have enough disposable income to just buy shit that I don't like or I don't care about. So I usually don't even remember things that I don't care about. Enough.
All right.
But yeah. As for Mike, yeah, like I tried to add because Samurai, I saw the kinds of moves that she did, and then I saw her win quote, and it was the wing quote that sold me.
Hmm?
Like I don't remember the specific wing quote, but it was just the show of character, that how she was like she was a bit of an asshole, but based on what she looked like and the moves she did and stuff like that, I felt it was um like I won't say it was warranted, but it had more of a base to be an asshole than just arrogance. And I
Biken's
like
definitely
that.
one of the ones with some of the most characterful animations out of the group.
Yeah.
Like the one that always springs to mind for me is that she has by far the longest animation to get up from crouching out of any character in the game.
Well, yeah, you have
And
to animate the boobs.
yeah, that's definitely a part of it, but also it looks like her legs are about to give out on, which I think is a very important part because despite the fact that Biken is visibly a young woman, she behaves like a old grizzled samurai, and when she gets up, she looks like her legs are about to fucking die. You know?
Yeah. And that's the other thing that like I just like Biker as a whole package. Boobs or not. Because like as we said during one of the one of the excerpt recordings, like I don't like Biken because she's boobs. I like her despite being boobs because she's not just boobs. Like she has them as features for people who only value that, but I don't. And she has other things, so I like her.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's it's fucking, I don't know. The anime fan base definitely seems to get more depraved every year. So I guess this is the only way to get them to even pay attention to female characters. I don't know.
I don't know,
I don't know.
yeah,
Because some of them are improving. Some of them are improving a little bit. Fucking Toriyama is introducing female Dragon Ball characters. Crazy. Female Dragon Ball characters. Who could imagine? You know? It's like from another planet. We've got like 3 now. No, 4. Oh, Japan. You oh. What are you about to say, Addy?
I don't know. Oh yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, anime seems to be in a weird freaking spot right now. It can decide whether it wants worse female characters or better female characters because, like, for every Biken we have at least one anime that has I don't remember what it was called, but there's this anime that I think is still airing, but I'm not sure. Where the story is that like the main character's grandmother or whoever is transported forward in time when she's young and then wants to get together with her grandson.
That's kind of like the story of Back to the Future 1 in reverse.
I guess, like it's not just the story that's the issue. Is the fact that the freaking preview of it that I saw, because I was watching this like short review-ish sort of thing of uh just like bad things in anime, really. And
Yeah.
the short preview that I saw was a scene where the grandmother character is naked and trying to force herself upon the grandson, and the grandson is not having it.
What is it with Japan that one is always forcing onto the other? I don't think I've ever heard of like a fucking anime relationship that was like fully consensual. It's always either the guy's forcing onto the girl or the girl's forcing onto the.
There are some that are not like that, but usually people don't talk about them. Like I think Lovely Complex, for the most part, isn't like that way. I don't remember because I haven't seen it in a while. But that's just basically a story of two people who can stand each other but also love each other, but not really. It's That's why it's called Complex. Anyway, Guilty Gear.
Yes. Is there like a cultural thing in Japan that someone has to be dominant in the relationship and someone has to be reluctant? Like, do they have a cultural thing about that?
Maybe, because it is a big fetishized thing. So maybe.
Yeah. I mean, like, here I am ready to complain about how sexualized Baiken's design is in Ixard. She's pretty good for a Japanese character design, honestly. Like, pretty much all of the Guilty Gear characters are better than most of what Japan does.
Yeah.
I mean, they're fucking leagues ahead of Blaze Blue.
Yes. Just like Makoto.
Like everything I've seen out of Uniclear, actually Under Night In-Birth actually looks like they have good female character designs, though I haven't seen all of the female character designs.
The only one that I think you might have an issue with is Batista, who is like this like eldritch entity taking over a girl or something like that. But the thing with her is that she's naked before battles, but they don't show it, and she has like a mesh suit on when the battle starts, and she just teleports clothes onto herself.
I guess I could be fine with that. I mean, like I'm fine with female characters that are sexualized if it's clearly part of their character.
Well,
like Ino's round wind taunt, where she turns around and takes off her top, is a classic wind taunt.
But well, she's not. I wouldn't say that she's sexualized as much as it's nothing to show that she's an eldritch entity, really, because every enemy that she faces, just in her story mode, everybody is like, "Yo, put on some clothes." So you know.
Isn't that how KOF handles Mai as well now?
Maybe. I don't know. The only big interaction that I saw with Mai was her and Andy talking about calling off their kids because they don't know if they left the AC on or whatever.
Wait, they actually have a kid now?
Yes, the ninja kid from Garo.
Oh, okay. Because I know there was at least one game where there was a moment Mai pretended that Andy had got her pregnant, and Andy freaked out. And I was like, "Wait, Andy, hang on! The fact that you're freaking out about that, Andy, did you have unprotected sex?"
No, Andy is like Goku.
He doesn't understand how babies go. Terry never told him.
No, he never did. Terry actually hasn't kissed Mai yet. Or not Terry. Terry hasn't kissed Mai yet. But yeah. Andy hasn't kissed Mai yet.
Oh, man. Oh, hey, who said anything about kissing?
True. But that's where babies come from.
Honestly, I think this is actually one of the few times where it's funnier to me. Like, as funny as it would be if Andy didn't know where babies come from, it's funnier to me Andy freaking out about, oh shit, I might have got my pregnant. Oh, man. Because, like, what's that mean, considering otherwise he can't fucking stand her? Like, is Andy just a piece of shit? Is Andy just
I guess so.
Andy's just a hit it and quit it kind of guy? Apparently.
And Andy is truly taking on the freaking role of ninja.
Yeah.
He's copying his master Sasuke.
Like, once they're finished, Andy just does his little ninja dash out of there. Like, he does the shittiest Naruto run out, and Mai's like, oh, Mai here, oh, my.
Yeah.
That's why I love him. Oh, Christ. Japanese video games are weird. Like,
dude, I watched a freaking advert for Gundam, a Gundam fighting game, arena fighting game, and yeah, Japanese video games are weird.
Hey, Gundam's the coolest. You shut up. I have no investment in that franchise, but every now and then I get a robot from it, and it looks cool.
Oh, I'm not the biggest fan. Yeah.
You know what? I actually remember when I was a little kid, they showed on like Fox or something. I was growing up. They had a Chibi Gundam show.
Ah, yeah.
Oh man, remember when everything had a Chibi version?
I mean, we are living it right now. Only they call them babies.
That's always been around. That's baby Looney Tunes back in the good old baby Watchman, huh?
Yeah.
Mr. Moore, would you please sign my copy of Baby Watchman? Uh,
But yeah, my thing with Gundam is that like I'm not the biggest fan of the mech designs, but I don't like mechs at all really, and they are some of the better designs that I have saw or seen. Because at least it's not Mazinger Z.
oh man. All right. So I've got actually a fairly odd question.
Yeah.
What character is there in Guilty Gear that you don't play, that you do not want to play, but you still appreciate their existence?
Hmm.
I'm going to wager it is not Haircar.
Definitely not Haircar. Honestly, if Sim wasn't in the game, I would probably have said freaking Milia. I hate her so much. Bloody hell. Like with Milia, it genuinely is hate. I just dislike that character. Anyway, as for who I like but don't play,
While you're thinking, I want to bring up a quote I saw the other day. It was somebody took the opening of Genesis and changed it to, in the beginning, Daisuke created Guilty Gear, and it was good. And then Daisuke created the neutral, and he called it Slayer. And then Daisuke created Set Play, and he called it Milia. And all was good. All right, you come up with any ideas?
freaking, I guess Alfeld is the one that I appreciate the most.
Really?
Yeah, because I can't for the life of me play Alfeld, so I don't. But I do like gun characters when they aren't made by NetherRealm.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, NetherRealm's made some decent gun characters, but Deadshot and Deathstroke were just so bad that they've tainted it.
I mean, the thing isn't that their gun characters are bad. It's that they're good.
Yeah. Aaron Black's a fantastic gun character, and most of the time he can't fucking zone you out.
I liked Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn's all right.
I liked Harley Quinn with her freaking dropkick combos. Bloody hell.
Spawn looks pretty good in MK11.
I haven't looked at him because I have no interest in MK.
Yeah.
But yeah, and who's the like best character that you can think of for that you don't play but you like?
For Guilty Gear, I would have to say Jacko. She's interesting.
Yeah.
She's different. I can't fucking play her to save my life.
Well, yeah, because the thing, yeah.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
Well, the thing with Jacko is that you like Jacko is also what I describe as a set play character. Only the set play is really freaking weird because it's based on internal timer and not something that you can change.
Yeah.
But really, Jacko works the best from my experience. When you can get the like little houses out, and then you can enhance them with her synthwave.
Yeah, a little keyboard solo right there.
Yeah, because like Jacko's neutrals and stuff like that aren't the best. They're not bad, and there is that infinite that I really hate, but. Like Jacko's normals and neutrals aren't the best, but then you add the freaking little minion people that he summons into the mix, and Jacko suddenly has a 75.50% chances of winning.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely a character that like is feast or famine depending on how well you've been setting up.
Yeah.
And I'm terrible at getting hard knockdowns in Guilty Gear. I usually forget to do it at all. So for me,
it's just down. It's down dust.
Yeah, Yeah, I
That's the
forget that
universal,
down dust exists for most characters. In my head, dust
which
is
is
launcher and nothing else.
really bad for Jakku because most of her good tools are on dust.
Uh-huh. Yes, they are. And I instinctively do not press dust when I play Guilty Gear.
Yeah, you see, the way I've been getting around that is that I've actually started introducing dusts into my combos.
Oh, you know,
Extending dusts.
there is
Yeah.
one character who I'll throw out dust with. Pot.
Yeah.
Because it's probably his longest range tool, or his best long range tool at least. Also, can't he combo dust into the face plant?
You might, I'm not sure.
It's Guilty Gear. There's all kinds of wacky shit. Like
Yeah.
even Strive, which looks like it's cutting down on a lot of freedom, still is going to have some wacky shit there. Oh, I'm excited I'm excited for the cock and ball torture. Oh man, people aren't going to get that now, and they're really not going to. The cock and ball torture is over.
Yeah. I mean, hey, we can just say that freaking Strive is handing out free weed. Isn't that also CBT?
I think it's not. I think it's like the oil that comes off of weed that people think is medicinal.
Ah. Close enough.
Yeah. No, that's not CBT. That's CBD. Yes. Okay.
Ah. Alright. Cock and ball torture it is.
Yeah. Or cock and ball torture.
Why not? Brought to you by Faust.
Yeah. And his whiffing command grab that looks fantastic. Does Faust have the best whiffed command grab animation in history?
Possibly.
It's up there. It's definitely up there.
Yeah, I also like Slayer's Slayer's like neck grab.
Yeah. Where his eye bulges out like, what?
How dare you move?
It's the weird thing about Slayer is that Slayer's supposed to be like uber strong. Slayer looks like a fucking fool with half of his moves.
Yeah. That's how he gets you.
Yeah. The move he has in the air where he's just fucking flailing is great.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay. So, out of Guilty Gear Xrd, which do you think is the sorest missing character that you wish was in Xrd and they aren't?
Anji, because he already has a freaking character model as well.
Ooh, yeah, you're right there. It is a lot of work setting up animations, though, especially considering that characters in Xrd are actually hand animated, right?
They might be, I don't know.
Oh yeah, they're definitely hand animated. They couldn't motion capture this shit.
What do you mean Daisuke doesn't do going my way?
Oh, that was a silly right there. And that's part of the problem people have with Mortal Kombat, right? Is that a lot of combat animations are mo-capped.
But it's not just that it's mo-capped, because mo-capped movement can look good. It's that they don't tweak it afterwards to not look shit.
I believe the estimate of the problem was simply that Mortal Kombat's characters, they designed to look realistic. Like, the animations are designed to look realistic at all angles. Whereas, like, Guilty Gear and Street Fighter, the animations are still built specifically for the 2D perspective. So if you hack Street Fighter or Guilty Gear to have, like, a 3D camera that can run around, the characters look fucking weird and inhuman.
In some cases it might, I don't know, because have you used the replay mode in Guilty Gear?
I have not, no.
So you can rewatch older online matches that you had. And the thing is, that game has, or that mode has 3 different camera types.
Oh.
All of them are a free camera, mind you, so it's still true, but it's not completely a thing of if you move it by like a centimeter, they already look like freaking Eldritch abominations.
Huh. Okay, I do definitely remember somebody hacking it to look at Soul head on in his animation. and it looked kind of derpy because he's not looking at his opponent. He's just fucking looking like off to the side, ignoring them.
In character.
I guess maybe. He'd take a fight seriously though.
He'd take a fight with Key seriously, or like Justice or Deadman. But like I don't think he'd take a fight with freaking Axel seriously.
I mean, it's the problem that people. It's the debate that. Why am I saying it's debate? It's not even really a debate. But the problem NetherRealm has that makes some of their animations look fucky is just the fact that they design them to fight realistically rather than to actually look good.
Yeah, the one thing that they don't really have an excuse for even with that, that people brought up against them that I kind of agree with, I guess, is how there were a couple of like stubs and stuff like that some characters had in 10 and 11, where it was obviously done at a slower pace than shown in the game, and they just sped the animation up, and it looks like garbage because of that.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of that in some of the games. Injustice is really bad about that particular animation trick. But let's see. Out of Guilty Gear Xrd, what would you say is your favorite part of the game, like its gameplay? Because we've been talking about its story quite a bit now.
Yeah, the gameplay. I don't know, because overall it is a pretty good package. I guess the combo freedom overall, because you can do a big damaging combo on the ground, or you can do a big damaging combo in the air, or you can do a big damaging combo that goes from the ground to the air and back to the ground, or vice versa.
You mean the dust loop?
Maybe. But yeah, like that I just like having big combos everywhere. Like I like having the option to do them anyway.
Yeah, I get you. But isn't
And
another big part of it the maneuverability? Isn't that another big part of it for you?
It is, but maneuverability alone isn't like a big selling point.
Really?
Or I don't know, because like maneuverability does really happen to combo freedom and stuff like that, but just being able to air dash won't make me shit my pants if I can only do like 3-hit combos. Like if Street Fighter V added air dashes, I wouldn't like Street Fighter V more because air dashes wouldn't do shit.
All right. Well, I mean, it would produce some pretty significant changes for some matchups, certainly.
It would introduce like overall you wouldn't be able to do much more than you can do already. It would only be easier or harder.
It'd be if everybody got air dashes in Street Fighter V, that'd be yet another nerf to zoners.
Yeah.
Oh, zoner's not named Dulcim, I mean.
Dulcim is now the screen.
Yeah.
Dulcim turns into that freaking Mugen character that is just a shark that eats you.
Oh shit, I never linked you that one video I mentioned with 98. I'll go ahead and like Google it right now just so I don't forget because it's a fucking fantastic video. But what was I going to say? One thing I actually found pretty interesting is Maximilian Dude was actually talking about how some of the guys he used to work on KI with over at Iron Galaxy, they apparently had gone over to Japan and have been working with Arxis on Guilty Gear for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know how far back, presumably back to like maybe Rev 2. And this is apparently playing a big part in the decision to implement rollback in Strive, is the fact that they have guys who worked on KI, and KI had very famously great netcode.
Maybe because
So
I have
I
heard
wonder.
that AI people are working on implementing the rollback.
That's very interesting because that's not something you hear a lot about Western developers going over to Japan and joining Japanese teams.
Yeah.
Do you think that we've noticed like any distinct more Western influence in like later Guilty Gear?
No, I wouldn't say so because like okay, I guess I need to freaking dance around the thing for a bit because the thing is, I don't have anything in particular against Western fighting games. I just think that most of their offering is shit. Like it just doesn't appeal to me.
Which is to say that
But
mer-
the modern offering, because I like old Mortal Kombat.
really you like old Mortal Kombat. Well, you like old Mortal Kombat more than the new one.
Yeah, I do.
Have you not played Mortal Kombat 9?
No, because my PC won't run it.
Oh, I did not know you haven't played Mortal Kombat 9.
No, you bought it for me, dude, and it freaking didn't. Well, it worked for once, and then I turned it off to plug in my fight stick, and then it doesn't run anymore. So no, I haven't played Mortal Kombat 9.
Well, I was aware that I bought you a copy, but I wasn't aware that you hadn't played it before then. Because Mortal Kombat 9's a very different game. Mortal Kombat 9's got way less restrictions on it than later NetherRealm games. It's kind of wild.
Like that one, that one is whatever. Schoolgirls is another one where it's like I'm not shitting on Schoolgirls because I haven't given it a chance yet. But like NetherRealm's modern offering, I don't like. Well, aside from MK9 because I haven't tried it. I think it sucks. Just like every part that wasn't taken from a different game sucks. and when everything that wasn't taken from a different game involves the freaking basic thing of the combo mechanics, then I just can't really enjoy the game overall. Stuff like that. And the freaking like the indie fighting games that are coming out are doing their thing. Some of them are okay. A lot of the ones that I see pushed around just because they have rollback, I think look like garbage. And just because they have a good feature doesn't or shouldn't mean that they are touted as kings. But whatever, that's just my opinion.
I mean, Fight of Animals gets pushed around partly not just because of the rollback netcode, because it's shit. And that's part of what's amusing about it is that it's a pretty bad fighting game. But in like a delightful kind of way, in the same way Fight of Gods was, Because Fight of Gods also a pretty bad fighting game.
I don't. Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's a reason Maximilian Dude called Fight of Gods the Whataburger of fighting games. It's trash, but it's good.
I don't know, because I reserve that stuff for like Dong Dong, where although
Dong Dong is the Chinese Fight of Gods.
I don't know. I'd have
like there's definitely a category of good trash fighting games.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm not sure about Fight of Gods because there's just too many things with those freaking games. The Fight of Blank series that there's too much shit that I just don't like, that I just can't give a shit enough to even look into them.
The animations are so jank.
Yeah, that's a part of it. The animations, the models, the subject matter with the animals one.
Fight of Animals shouldn't have been named Fight of Animals. It should have been named Fight of Memes.
Yeah.
I'd pop for that if that's their third one in the trilogy there. Fight of Memes. They'd have limited movesets though.
But yeah, like going back to my point, like I don't dislike Western fighting games just because they're Western. I dislike a lot of Western fighting games just because I don't think that they give enough or give a good enough thing for me to care about them. And so it's like, like KI did good shit. If Guilty Gear uses KI shit, then whatever. like, like I'm not opposed to the idea of Western developers doing things better than Eastern developers. It's just that I see Western developers being more responsive, and people immediately acting like Western developers are making all of the great games and Eastern developers are not.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those things where like I disagree pretty much entirely. I love pretty much all those franchises that Addy listed off there. I get what Addy's saying, certainly, because Mortal Kombat combo structure, like, well, for one thing, combo structure in the NetherRealm games has been getting more rigid with each game, to the point where Mortal Kombat 11, combo is virtually always just string, special, string. But it's kind of like the combo mechanics in Mortal Kombat X, at least, are very similar to like Tekken combos. It's all about the juggling. But otherwise, like, Skullgirls pretty much just is Marvel vs. Capcom 4, honestly. Which, is pretty nice, especially considering that the real Marvel vs. Capcom 4 is also, gameplay-wise, a pretty good fighting game, but presentation-wise is more than a little bit lacking.
Yeah.
KI, I quite enjoy. I've not put a serious amount of time into it ever. I've practiced a little bit with pretty much every character on the roster. I have read from the wonderful, wonderful, wonderful website. If I can go ahead and get the name of it, so I can. Yes, the Complete Killer Instinct Guide, or ki.infil.net. I have read a lot from that, and that one I found particularly fascinating. Like, KI definitely has its own unique combo structure, and at first I didn't like it either. But I got used to it over time, especially as I got, like, not only turning off the auto combo system, because holy shit, the auto combo system in that game is mundane, but like getting used to how the combos can differ for other characters. And getting used to the fact that there is a neutral, actually. It's just a little different from other games. But like, KI kind of feels like the Western. This is probably going to make you puke in your mouth a little bit, and I'm sorry about that. KI kind of feels a little bit like the Western Guilty Gear, where it's really fast and just about every character on the roster is entirely different from the others, to the point that some characters on the roster feel like they're playing an entirely different game.
Like, I can understand that. I don't necessarily disagree. It's just that when I play KI, I feel like it's basically, it feels like the Chinese ripoff Guilty Gear to me.
It's the visual presentation.
It could be. I don't freaking know, dude. I don't like the mechanics in that game either. Like,
the graphics on KI are a little poopy. I think another big. Yeah. No, go ahead.
Yeah, the thing with KI is that like it is sort of in a bad place anyway, because I don't like any KI game. With Mortal Kombat, at least I can say that I like Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, and the second game. Actually, I like the first 3, but like KI, I just always thought that it was shit, and it always looked like shit to me. So,
I mean, Street Fighter 1 was pretty shit, but I don't hold that against the.
Street Fighter 1 was shit, but Street Fighter 2 wasn't. All of the KI games, in my opinion, are pretty shit. Like, the newest one is the best, but that doesn't mean that it's not. That doesn't mean that I like it.
I know, but if you're like saying that KI 2013, if you're saying it starts off on the wrong foot and that is a serious problem because the prior games were shit in your eyes. Like,
no, I'm holding it against the characters. But not the gameplay.
Against the characters. Yeah, that's another big thing where you and I differ, is that I can just turn off the story part of the game for me, and you can't. Like, for me, KI's story doesn't exist. Because to me, it's just generic, whatever. Hey, Ultra Tech, it's evil, and robots and aliens, and whatever. Who gives a shit? I'm here for the game. Whereas the story is a very important part of the fighting game experience for you.
Yeah. The story and character design, and I just think all of the designs suck. Like, a lot of the new designs are better than the old ones, but that doesn't, like, once again, just because it's better doesn't mean it's good. Just because I'm a better person than I was like 3 years ago doesn't mean that I still don't want to shank people sometimes. Like,
the KI character designs are definitely influenced by like that kind of mid-90s thing of like, not only are a lot of the classic characters just rip-offs of other fighting game characters, like fucking Jago is just, Ninja Ryu.
Yeah.
Orchid is on some level just Chun-Li. Spinal is just a skeleton. But I personally do appreciate a lot of the newer character designs, and I like that Spinal's shield is now Cthulhu for some reason. And I don't think we should turn this into a KI talk. This episode is not KI 2013.
Yeah.
But, like, to get back to Guilty Gear, like, what would you say about Guilty Gear Xr's character designs? Because I think, like, there are some fucking winners here, but I actually kind of overall preferred the visual direction of X2. I think I'm one of the only people who doesn't consider Xr to be the most beautiful fighting game. Most good-looking fighting game.
I think most of the designs are good overall. So there's still some losers that don't really tell a story, like that don't tell the character's story in the design or like whatever, you know. There are still a couple that are just like boob lady, namely Dizzy. But I think that might just be because
Dizzy was still an improvement.
Yeah, Dizzy was
still
an improvement. That's the worst part. But yeah,
I hope with every new entry,
she just puts on more clothes.
She puts on more of a suit.
But
she's wearing a full if she comes back for Strive, she's wearing a full tuxedo.
And then like with each installment, she gets more clothes on. So by the freaking like the end life cycle of Strive, or like 2 games from now, she's just wearing like a Yeti suit.
She's wearing like 6 layers of jackets.
Yeah.
She just bounces off you every time you hit her.
And then they turn her into a grab character. But yeah, I think the overall designs were pretty good. Viken's design in particular, I like how they changed it.
But Viken's design, you can tell that partially they just were like everything bigger.
Yeah.
Bigger hair, bigger sword,
bigger kimono,
bigger lack of an arm, bigger leg, bigger you know what.
Yeah. Bigger eye patch.
Bigger eye patch. Yes. The eye patch, I think, was one of the strongest choices because in X2, it wasn't clear that Viken was missing an eye.
Yeah.
Whereas they made it pretty clear here.
Yeah, I like the eye patch. Yeah.
I never noticed. In Xr, does her eye patch switch sides like Sagat?
It might. I'm not thinking. I wasn't paying attention. Let me check.
Because I think they may have intentionally made it where her eye patch switches sides, just as a joke. Because even though she's a 3D model, they set it up where it switches sides. Because LOL Sagat, right?
Yeah.
And because technically in X2, the lost eye also would have switched sides. It's just that the hair was covering it up.
Yeah. Give me a sec. I'm looking it up. Bloody eye patch side. Yes, it does. Yes, the eye patch does change sides.
It's a 3D model. Oh fuck!
They flipped the whole 3D model for a shitty joke.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
we are never going to get Third Strike Gil back, are we? Other than for when we got him back for 5.
Yeah.
Like Sagat finally keeps his eye patch on the right side, but other than that, we're getting this goofy shit.
Yeah.
To me, there will never be a worse example than fucking Hellboy in Injustice 2 switching which arm has the big hand.
Oh boy.
The big stone hand. Yeah, it looks terrible. I love it. It's like the most distinctive part of Hellboy's design, and it changes every time he flips sides.
Why not?
Yeah, I guess fuck it. Why not? Like, fuck, you could have just had Hellboy turn the other way when he's on one eye, the same way Gil does in 5, but no, fuck it. Oh, man.
Yeah, I think I like, I don't know, because I like the grungier design of the old games, but I also really like how a lot of the designs in this one were just imported from the old games and just a bit, like, glowed up a bit. Like Chip.
Yeah, I mean,
Chip has only changed design in Strive. Chip
yeah,
has been wearing those pants since
most characters.
Chip has been wearing those pants since the first game.
Yeah, he hasn't washed them once. Can I just say, like, I do think the biggest character design fuck up change from X2 to Ixard, Soul.
What did they change?
Changing the sword out so it's instead a holster.
Ah, yeah, that I can agree with.
Like, I like that they're changing his stance in Strive, because if they're going to stick with it being a holster instead of a sword, then he should fight differently. Because he's not cutting people anymore, he's just clubbing them with a fucking holster.
Yeah.
Strive visually looks fantastic to me, by the way.
Yeah,
visually, like, gameplay-wise, obviously,
yeah.
There's a little bit more debate around gameplay, but visually...
Visually, Strive looks the best. I really like Chip's new design. I really like how he became the muscle.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for high collars, so I'm also big on Chip's new design.
I really like his MC Hammer pants and the freaking large ass rope that surrounds it. I'm a sucker for those.
I challenge you to play MC Hammer music every time you play as Chip.
No, but remember, he's Johnny Stent, Presidente. Or whatever. Or Mr. President, that was it. That was my silly joke.
Yeah.
Mr. President was a Eurobeat singer, by the way.
I definitely heard of him, at least in passing.
But yeah. I like most of the new designs that they introduced in Strive as well. Overall, I forget if I said it, so overall I do prefer the Xrd implementation of the old designs just because we can see it more clearly. Like, that's the big thing. There are some parts that I don't necessarily like Johnny's J's, I think it is. Like the large golden shit that's in his like shoulder area.
I never noticed.
You play a character for long enough, you notice that shit.
Yeah.
It's been bugging me for a while. I'm hoping they redesign his jacket. If he's in Strive.
They probably will, because Strive definitely has a jacket fetish going on.
Which I'm fine with, because so do I. And that's the thing, long flowing freaking jackets and stuff like that I really like. So video games just suddenly going like, okay, we need all of these. Like
So what you're saying is you need to play more Devil May Cry games.
Possibly. But yeah. As for Strive's, like, once again, I really like Strive's designs aside from the new stances for Soul and Key, especially Key. Soul, I don't even remember what Soul's is. Key's new stance is garbage. It only looks good when he's freaking static.
I haven't even noticed.
Also, it was pointed out on the Guilty Gear, I can't freaking unsee it, but Key now has giraffe neck.
Oh boy. Yeah. I also gotta say, like, I like Key having a slightly changed design, but didn't they change his coat from white and blue to green? Something like that?
It up, because I don't remember.
I feel like they took the color out of his design
take out
a bit.
His color, I think, but I'm not sure about the color.
Well, knowing Arxis, you can probably change it to an alternate color where he still has the classic
no,
blue
it
and
is
white.
It is still blue and white. He just doesn't like. It's not actually on him. It just is on his shoulders. I can send a picture if you want.
Oh, I'm looking it up now. Silly me.
Too late.
I've already got. Yeah. Whoopsie.
There you go.
Oh, I actually really like Key's new design. Honestly,
I don't mind his new design. I just don't like the stance.
It was Soul that's got the. Oh no, Soul's jacket is also red. I must be going crazy. I appreciate giving the new characters new designs. Ordinarily, Japanese fighting games tend to stick to just having the classics. The best solution, obviously, is just to have a new default costume, but offer an alternate costume that's the classic.
Yeah, if you don't mess it up like Street Fighter did.
Yeah.
The,
Street
yeah,
Fighter 5 handled it inconsistently.
yeah.
Because there are some characters like Ryu who very much stick with the classic design, but then you can see Sexy Ryu. Sexy Ryu looks like it should be the new Ryu, you know?
Yeah. Like my pet peeve with Street Fighter 5 will always and forever be that they didn't use the actual old freaking Akuma costume. They didn't use the like any of the normal promotional material costumes. They used the one where he has the bloody 10 symbol on his beads, and it just looks like garbage. Because it looks like normal Akuma, except for that freaking glaring neon freaking red bright shit on his beads.
That I think I actually like that design. But I'm not the best at picking Akuma designs, honestly.
What do you mean?
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I appreciate, like, I think that's one of those things, again, where we kind of differ a little bit. I like the more supernatural look for Akuma.
I don't mind the supernatural look, but I like it when it's consistent overall. Like Akuma having glowy eyes, I'm fine with because Akuma is a freaking demon or whatever the hell he's supposed to be this time of the year. But like I can see Akuma's like eyes glowing. I can see him spewing fire from his mouth. I can't see him using the Satsui no Hado to have neon in his freaking beats. Like
Akuma's a weird guy, man.
and the thing,
I mean, he's friends with Elena, so clearly he's got some hidden layers underneath there.
yeah.
Maybe Akuma just really looked at those beads and he was like, man, it'd be sick as hell if I threw some fire on this shit.
Oh boy! Imagine if freaking Akuma with baby, and it turns gets at it to Street Fighter 6, and it turns out that it's his and Elena's kid.
Oh no! Wait, Akuma, how old are you?
Too old.
Yeah. If Akuma had to carry a baby, whose baby would it be? That never occurred to me. Wait, whose baby is that?
He just has it. No explanation given.
Is it another one of those fucking bison babies? Like the one that Balrog kidnapped that grew up to be Ed?
Oh, I hope not.
Bison needs to stop making so many fucking babies.
Yeah.
He can't stop.
I actually think it, in the notes that they had, it was something like it's Ryu's kid that he kidnaps and just trains him how to Satsui no Hado or something like that.
Who would Ryu knock up?
Sakura.
No. Absolutely not. Oh man, by the time of 5, she is an adult. Well, like Ryu and Sakura interact very little.
But Sakura still obsesses over Ryu, so
Honestly,
they do a fatal frame, and Sakura goes back in time to have sex with Ryu before he dies.
Oh god. Honestly, I'd rather the mother just entirely go unnamed. It's like, oh yeah, Ryu got laid at some point. Where, when, why? Who cares?
Why doesn't Takuma just take Ken's kid? At that point,
because Akuma doesn't give a shit about Ken.
That's true.
Akuma's only cares about 2 people, Ryu and Gen. Everybody else doesn't exist. Well, okay, he likes Elena, but other than that, like, really, you'd think Akuma would want to focus on Sakura, because Sakura's pretty much just Ryu again.
She's Ryu, but not as strong. Not yet, anyway.
That's true, but Sakura had to teach herself. Ryu's so strong, but he had Goken to teach him. Sakura's self-taught.
That is true, yeah. Oh, anyway, Gear to Gear.
So, out of this roster, like, I always go back to the roster with Revelations because it is such a strong roster overall, even though it's missing some of my favorites like Key. And like, it's missing a favorite for you as well, Testament, right?
I've actually never really played Testament.
Okay, that explains why you like him.
Yeah. I mean,
Because Testament is
yeah.
one of the weirdest fighting game characters I've ever.
No, I actually have I have played Testament, and I actually do play the guy that's like Testament in Unis. So
Yeah. Well, does he have the weird blood web shit?
yes,
Because I could never figure that out.
That's why I say that he's like Testament.
What is that weird blood web shit about?
Trapping. He's a trap character.
I don't know what the web does. What does it do?
It stuns people.
It does?
Yeah.
How did I never notice that?
I don't know. Maybe because it's not for a really long time.
Yeah, that's probably it. I mean, oh man, at the time I tried Testament, that would have been 8 years ago, maybe 7. At that point in time, I didn't really understand the point of moves. That's one thing that really changes. Like, that's one thing that's interesting about going back to fighting games you played when you were a kid and seeing a move that you're like, what the fuck's the point of this? And now you get it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of moves that are like, oh, charged unblockable. At the time when I was a kid, I was like, oh, this is shit. Now I go back and I'm like, oh, that's awesome.
I don't know, because with some of the moves that I use now, it was less of a thing that I saw it and I was like, this is useless. It was more of a thing of, I saw the CPU use it and I'm like, oh, cool. How do I do that? And I never figured it out.
Ooh, yeah, that's
like,
I think that's one of the things where we differ, isn't it?
Yeah. Because, like, the reason I use Demon Flip so much is because it took me 10 years to figure out how to do Demon Flip. So, I'm gonna freaking use it!
Well, back in the day, it wasn't on Shoryu, it was on Tiger Knee.
Well,
it was even harder to do.
No, it was really inconsistent, is the thing. It still is really inconsistent, is the thing. Because it should be on Shoryu, but then Alpha uses Tiger Knee. Like, it's not even Tiger Knee, it's a half circle from down to up. And then
it's a Tiger Knee, but Sagat turns upside down and knees the sky.
Yeah. So that, and freaking in 5, it's a half circle forward for some reason.
Right. What game was it a Shoryu in? Was it 4?
It was a Shoryu in 4. It was a Shoryu in 3. It was a Shoryu in Tekken.
And I'm going to wager it's also a Shoryu in Marvel vs. Capcom.
It's not in Marvel vs. Capcom at all.
What? I guess it wouldn't be very good in Marvel vs. Capcom, would it?
No, probably not.
Oh, man. Out of Ixard, like I feel like there's a lot we're not hitting with Ixard, but I definitely want to do another Ixard episode sometime. Not immediately, obviously, but like especially after I put more time in, because I didn't I fucked up this week and didn't put as much time into Ixard as I should have.
Yeah, meanwhile, I trained against the freaking Maniac CPU. Oh, anyway,
I definitely want to do another video on Ixard sometime after I've looked more into the pro community, after I've tried more things out. Because I could not, for the life of me, figure out how to do this trick with Slayer that I mentioned last episode. I did mention that, right?
I think so, yeah.
The dash behind into Mappa Hunch trick.
Yeah.
And boy, it's different comboing with Slayer than with anyone else, isn't it? Everybody else gets proper combos. Slayer's got to do like fucking Street Fighter 3 frame link shit.
I don't know, because I find that shit easier. That's the thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? That is a big difference. Huh.
Yeah,
how do you feel about...
Yeah.
How easy or difficult do you find Mortal Kombat strings?
I find them boring.
Okay.
So, not really difficult once you figure them out. Mind you, I did make an Ermac combo that took down like 70% of your health, so...
Did it use an X-ray, though?
Yeah, it did.
If it needs three bars a meter, I don't count it. Because I mean, you can get Mortal Kombat. You can get a 40% with most characters can get a 40% with one chunk of meter.
No,
So
yeah.
really, like I try to consider like meter value, all things considered. You know.
I think the meterless version of that combo was like 35%, so that's still pretty good.
Yeah, Ermac's always been a combo beast. The older Mortal Kombat characters, there were just all kinds of crazy combo bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, I wish Mortal Kombat 9 worked for you, because, like, Rain is disgusting in that game. He has, like, 3 meterless fucking combo extenders. It's ridiculous.
It is Rain.
Yeah, that's true. It's Rain, the character everybody wants in every cut because crazy combo bullshit.
Well, the thing is, when I think of Rain, I think of the reptile ball, but just times it by 3.
Yeah, then it puts you in the fucking water orb and you stay in the sky for a whole hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got that in 9. And he's got Nightwolf's lightning bolt.
Ah.
And he's got something else. I forget what. Like, he's fucking crazy in that game. And he has a restand. Fucking Rain, man. Oh, he's got his classic super kick where he kicks you off one side of the screen onto the other.
Ah, yeah.
So he can use all of those for combos. Fucking Rain, man.
You're listing all of these things off, and I'm just like, yup, Jinpachi Mishima.
Yep. Who is the most broken character in Exard?
The most broken.
Because I know the highest tiered character is Johnny, but I think that's partially just because Johnny's got such good tools.
Yeah, Johnny has really good tools, but it also requires really high execution.
Yeah.
So
I know that high level Jacko is supposed to be fucking terrifying.
Low level Jacko, any level Jacko really. Jacko has a freaking an infinite or forward dust. Or something, some stupid shit like that.
Touch of death, huh?
Yes, the AI has done that to me multiple times. Because once she hits you with it once, you genuinely can't escape if you don't have a burst.
Oh my god.
You just die, or the AI drops the combo because it wants to do something else.
Yeah. Time to drop this infinite for some Oki.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, look, the AI can be pretty good in this game. Sometimes it freaking messes up still because it's AI.
Yep.
Like, there's only so much you can expect from AI.
Yeah. Oh man.
But yeah, the most broken. Honestly, probably Leo, because Leo does dirty shit.
Really?
Like, well, from my experience, overall, I don't know who would be the most broken, but I feel like Leo does the most dirty shit to me. Either him or Ino.
Oh, okay. Well, I know Leo is the cross-up king, so
Yeah.
I that's actually kind of surprising to me. I guess it makes sense, yeah. So, do you want to put it on recording when we talk about what fighting game we should do next? Because we actually don't know this time.
I guess we could.
All right, I guess that'll be the tradition. At the end of every episode, we'll talk about what fighting game we should do next. So we've done KOF, and that's a classic. We've done Exard. It's quite a bit newer.
Yeah.
KOF was a bit more neutral heavy. Exard's more hyper. So we've kind of already covered 2 ends of the spectrum on that account.
Yeah, we have.
So I think my question would simply be, what fighting game do you want to do next? I guess we could hit a Street Fighter since, this is a fighting game podcast.
Yeah. We could do Third Strike, and then the people can lynch me for not thinking it's the best game ever.
But you do believe it's very awesome, though, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't dislike it, no, but...
Because, I think there's definitely more of a debate now than there ever was before. Like Street Fighter V was a massive blow to Street Fighter elitists. Like a lot of them jumped ship for Tekken or Guilty Gear after that.
Yeah.
Whew. That's part of the saga of the 2010s for fighting games, is slowly taking down the fucking
Street Fighter
brick tower of Street Fighter. Yeah,
the Tower of Babylon finally collapses, and everybody starts speaking different languages, or whatever that
they're
was.
scattered in different parts of the globe.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure. Not to prove. I'm just going to be over the course of this series proving your point about how differently you and I handle things. But Maximilian and Sajam have both published videos saying when Capcom gets shit on, when Capcom's doing poorly, everyone else in the fighting game industry does better for it.
I don't really disagree with their point, really. Because, like, good fighting games can come from any freaking, any publisher and developer team. But people usually don't give a shit because Street Fighter is good and Street Fighter is what we know, and so why should I care about your anime bullshit that is Guilty Gear, or why should I care about that 3D bullshit that is Tekken when I have my Street Fighter and I can just freaking do Shoro combos with Ryu?
Yeah, we can go down the line there, can't we? Like, why should I care about your hyper bullshit with Marvel? Why should I care about your American bullshit with Mortal Kombat?
Yeah.
Why should I care about your old bullshit with Virtua Fighter or whatever, you know?
Yeah, like you can say a bad thing about any freaking franchise that isn't Street Fighter, and people there, like, it's not the whole community, but some people will definitely use that insult towards a game series that is not Street Fighter if Street Fighter is good. So they're not really wrong.
Oh man, what game should we do next? You know, it really there's so many options to pick from.
Yeah. I mean, technically we could go with freaking, like, Persona Arena and then talk about how making games more accessible doesn't mean dumbing them down, but sometimes they do that.
Do we want to go straight from an Arxis game to another Arxis game?
I don't know, we can go to something else.
I don't know, because, like, what are our options for developers, right? What are the major fighting game developers? Capcom, SNK, Arxis, NetherRealm, Bamco.
And that's...
who does Virtua Fighter?
Oh, Sega, yeah, Sega. And then, I guess Microsoft for KI.
Yeah. Who else is there? There's definitely a big one we're missing right now.
The guy that made Skullgirls.
Yeah, Skullgirls, fuck. Skullgirls is also Arxis published.
Oh, alright.
Yeah. It was not developed by Arxis, it was developed by a Western team, but it was published by Arxis.
Oh, okay, so apparently both of the things that I've heard might be true with Strife's Let's Play, because I've heard that they have worked on implementing rollback into KI, working on Strife, but also they are in talks with the people who made Schoolgirls concerning that play.
That would make sense. That would make sense. The other part of that makes sense is that the only Western fighting game that has seen any success in the East, in Japan, is Skullgirls. It's the only one that's seen any tournament play over there. Like, Mortal Kombat and KI are very much not popular in Japan. Well, I think Mortal Kombat has, like, a vocal minority fan base over there, but other than that, you know.
I think Mortal Kombat might be banned in Japan.
It depends on which game, definitely.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, they aren't necessarily opposed to blood and gore. Anime is gory as fuck.
Yeah, that is
a lot of them. Also, Sam Show, which also has had lots of fatalities.
Yeah, then Sam Show 5 was also really like censored because there was also a real shanking, like a school shanking that happened right around release.
Ah, okay.
So yeah.
Well, what one sounds like fun for you that we could talk about and it'd be fun?
I'm fine with whatever, really.
Oh, there's so many possibilities. It's just spooky. It's spooky possibilities. Oh man, what fighting game will we play in the Halloween season?
Kasumi Fighter. Was that
It's
the
a
name?
pity it's a
Yeah.
pity Terradrome 1 isn't up for download anymore. Or I think it's not up for download anymore. Because that one's actually really good. Have you ever seen at least footage of Terradrome 1?
I think I did.
Because like that game looks jank, but it feels great. Like there's Darkstalkers as well.
Yeah, but I'm not sure how we'd get to play it.
No. We'd load up a Mugen copy.
Yeah, because that's the thing with most of these things. It's like I can suggest the freaking Fat Man Speaks, but it's an old DOS game, so I have no idea how we'd get it or how we'd run it. And running it would be the lesser issue.
Well, there's a couple like Dong Dong, like if we wanted to do Dong Dong for like April Fools or something, which, hey, wait, you know what? Oh no, April Fools is the first. Okay. But like if we ever had an April Fools episode, it would definitely be Dong, and we'd be running that through Mugen. Almost certainly. Well, it'll be April the 7th when we do our next one. Not to expose our schedule, but who gives a shit? I can't think of anything that's especially associated with that. We could absolutely do just Persona 4 because we picked that up most recently.
Or we could do Third Strike. Because
we could
whatever.
Absolutely do Third. Yeah. I am never opposed to playing Third Strike. So, let's flip a coin again, because that's how we decided to do 98 before.
Yeah.
Let me just rip out a quarter here. Let's see, where are you? There you are. All right, let's say Face, Third Strike, Tails, Persona Arena. All right, and this coin is definitely going to fall. There's no way I'm catching this. I am the least dexterous person in the world. Woo. Okay, well, landed between my legs, so it landed sideways, which means we pick another game.
We play both. It's a joint podcast. Alright, I guess we pick another game.
You know what, actually? Let me go ahead and check my bank account. Cause
I have an idea.
Yeah, I also have an idea. If I have $5 in my bank account,
I have an idea that doesn't require spending money. Street Fighter 1.
Ooh. Oh, Discord. Oh. We could not. There is absolutely no fucking way.
I mean, there is some mechanics discussion that we could have with it, because I have figured, like, I think I might have figured out how to do specials in that game. And it's the weirdest shit, I swear.
If we're ever doing like a 2 game podcast, then I would say maybe throw Street Fighter 1 in there and some other older or simple fighting game. You know?
Yeah.
So if like you've got an idea for another really small fighting game, like maybe when I pick up a copy of Dive Kick, I'll pick up a copy of Dive Kick for either of us, and that's when we'll do it.
Yeah.
Okay, I do not have the $40 in my account to just pick up Uniclear, though that is very much on my list right now. So other than that, the coin landing sideways. Ooh. What is a fighting game that you've just got a fucking craving for? Let's go for that. Because I've got some fighting games I've been having cravings for, but at the same time, I don't know if we should go for them this early.
I don't know.
Really? You don't have a hankering for anything right now?
No, not right now. We
Well,
could play Alpha, I guess.
we absolutely could play Alpha. Yeah. Yeah, I've not put much time into Alpha, but I could absolutely do Alpha. Ah, fuck it, Alpha. Sure, why not?
All right, all of the Alpha
Now,
series.
Alpha series altogether?
Yeah,
All
why
right.
not?
No shit. I'll have to play Alpha 2 because I've not played Alpha 2. I've only played 1 and 3.
I've played all of them.
All right, so I think we're gonna have to wrap this up very soon because my bowels are about to exit, regardless of my consent. But yeah, tune in 2 weeks from now when we'll do a video, a podcast on the Street Fighter Alpha series.